My name is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with the Internal Revenue Service. Welcome to my YouTube station, the home of the 5-minute or less video. I don't like to waste my time, and you don't want to hear a bunch of crap. So this YouTube is to give you enough informative information to make an educational decision on things that you need. Many of you YouTubers are do-it-yourselfers. So anyway, I hope this information helps you. At the end of the day, the only marketing I do is to tell you I'm available for expert representation and consultation work. And anyway, today I'm going to be talking to you about the federal tax lien and different ways that you can get the federal tax lien released. As a former IRS agent, I worked the federal tax liens. I used to sign bunches of them. I bet you in my lifetime, I have filed at least 3,000 federal tax liens. On given days, I would sign hundreds. I changed my signature. I signed so many. As a GS-9 revenue officer back in the day, I was authorized to sign federal tax liens. And the government does that really to secure their interests. They don't want to be punitive. The Internal Revenue Manual says they need to. And actually, today they're automated. They're sent out just by IRS computer. I don't even know today if they use real signatures or probably facsimile signatures. They send so many. A couple years ago, they sent out at least 5, 6, 700,000 federal tax liens to people who owe over $10,000. There's been some talk of raising that figure up to maybe 25,000, but right now, if IRS deems necessary, they can file a federal tax lien at $10,000. Once IRS makes a formal notice and demand for the money and you tell them you can't pay them or you don't answer them, then they can file their federal tax lien. So if they call you on the phone, you tell them you can't pay the bill, or if IRS sends you your series of notices, your CP-14, 501, 503, 504, and 1058, and you do not appeal that 1058 letter or challenge IRS on the filing of the federal tax lien, you're going to have a federal tax lien filed in the where your residence is, in the county seat. That puts everyone on notice that you owe the government, and that federal tax lien attaches to all real and personal property you have. It doesn't show up on credit reports. It used to, but because of the Fair Trade Fair Credit Act, IRS had to stop putting them on a record where it could be on the credit report. But if you go to close your house, your federal tax lien will pull up at a property search. If you want to know if you have a federal tax lien, all you got to do is go to your county seat, your courthouse, and go ahead and put your name in where it says liens, and they should go ahead and pull up your name. Many times you don't even know a lien's been filed. You just go ahead, you go to closing or get a mortgage, and the lien's there because you never had a copy. Is that normal? Yes. It's just normal because IRS, for some reason, they don't send the copies. You may have been moved. Who knows what the hell is going on, but you don't have it. And now you want to get away with it. So how do you get the lien released? Let me go over some different ways to get the lien released. Sometimes the statute of limitations has expired. The IRS statute of limitations is 10 years from the date of assessment. Now that statute could have been extended, very possibly. We don't know if it has. You're going to have to pull an IRS transcript up to find out. The second way, obviously, is to pay it off. The third way is to have an accepted offer and compromise go through, and when you pay the terms off, IRS will release the federal tax liens. And if you owe over under $25,000 in debt, and you've made 3 direct deposits to IRS, they will go ahead and remove the federal tax lien. IRS can subordinate or discharge a federal tax lien if that calls for that. So let's say you're selling a home and there's a lien on the property. IRS can discharge the lien on that property if they're getting equity out of that property. If there's no equity, you can still apply to get the federal tax lien released. Now the lien will release itself on that piece of property. If it's not paid in full, that lien still keeps its own standing, and IRS will put on that lien on that piece of property, the federal tax lien has been released on such and such property. If it's not paid off, it still has its place in time, and IRS will not release the federal tax lien. You can also subordinate your federal tax lien, where IRS gets some money to subordinate it so other people can be paid off, but IRS still has its place in time and in line. So if you have a federal tax lien, you're not sure what to do, you can give us a call. We're available for representation. Most people today get their federal tax liens released through the offer and compromise, because as soon as the offer goes through, they'll go ahead and release the federal tax lien. Lastly, if you do get a final notice at 1058 that I mentioned before, make sure you file an appeal. It'll delay the filing of the lien, and IRS may decide not to file the lien. Listen, hit me with a subscription if you could. That's helpful to YouTube and myself. It lets me know I'm doing a good job. You can give me a like. If you leave a comment and say, hey, do a YouTube on this. I did this video because someone left me a comment. So if you want me to do a YouTube, go ahead and do that. We are available for expert representation. We're really cool people too. Anyway, have a good one. Nice talking to you.